Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is enjoying themselves. I got to be honest, I really freaking like that song. And in fact, I really, really like the next one, too, that we're going to be going out with. Just something about love, man. It's just such a great feeling, especially for those of us that are trying to manifest that specific someone. Odds are we got a little bit of emotion that's sort of driving this particular choice. And if for some reason that's not the case, probably listen to Volume 1 and 2 for Agnes and I. We really get into a lot of this stuff as far as trying to discern whether or not you're going after the specific someone for the right reasons. Because I'm telling you this, if you're going for the wrong reasons, it might take you a lot longer to manifest this than you're personally interested in. So again, if the wrong reasons are what are driving you, step back. I mean, you want to be loved. You want to be in love, right? You want to have someone to love. So if you're chasing after someone that might not work out, keep that in mind, because we are going to try to help you find a perfect fit for you, someone that you can spend the rest of your life with and be happier, probably, than the person that you're currently thinking of. Just throwing that out there. So Agnes and I get to know a lot of stuff about specific someones right here on this particular show. The song we came in with, that's The Gift. Jim Brickman is the person that wrote the song, but it was performed with Colin Ray and Susan Ashton. They're the ones that did the vocals for us. So we're going to be going out with another great song, so stick around. I'll be closing it out with that here in just a few. Thanks. So, okay, we talked about choosing a specific person and why you might not get the one that you were after. Now, let's flip that around to the other side of that, where, because you've accomplished this, Neville Goddard's accomplished this. I'm going to, but I can't talk on it yet. You know, I'm still a baby or whatever.
You will. You will.
Yes. So please
I'll be interviewing you about that.
Right? Oh, I can't wait. Hopefully she's in this with me. You know, when I'm doing it, that'd just be cool, just to have you meet. But anyway, she's. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yes. You can see how she affects me. It's funny as heck. Anyway.
It's great. It's great.
This person's the greatest. But yeah. So when it does work, how's that go? I mean, how did that work out? I mean, we talked about it some on the last one. I still think this, relative to where we're at in this discussion, I think this is a really good place to just kind of do a quickie on the when you finally figured it out and boom, this guy, the current guy.
You know, I went through a phase where I just thought, you know what, this is so damn hard. I'm so exhausted. I'm actually beyond even wanting this anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm totally so over this. It's fried every circuit in my head.
Yeah, you're speaking seriously to a place I was really at recently too, and it's just like whatever. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, you just don't care anymore, and that's what happens. And I think that's a good place to get to, because you let go of all the resistance and all the stress, and you just go to bed and you sleep and you just go whatever.
I think we finally got out of our own way. We spent how long putting energy towards relationships only to finally shut ourselves up long enough so it could happen.
Yeah.
That was me. For me, it was like, I don't have it. It's not here yet. It was just coming to the conclusion of knowing that it's happening. It's not going to happen freaking immediately, man. Come on, just chill and give it a little time to go through the steps.
Know. Yeah.
That's I think the hard part.
It is. It's internally the hard part. But I think when you get to the place where you've let it go, as best, you know, where you just hit the wall. It's not you've said, okay, I'm going to let it go. You've hit the wall and bounced off. Like, remember that cartoon with the Roadrunner and the Acme truck?
Absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Just painted a thing on the rock and you just blammo, done.
Boing. Yeah. You just, and it knocks you out for weeks.
Yes.
Well, I think when you get to that point, your brain just, it's like it shuts off, and you can then finally have a rest. And then it's like, it's like a forced surrender from exhaustion. So it's happened because you've just put so much energy and it hasn't happened yet. So it's like your head just pops off.
Like you said, you're emotionally exhausted. You're energetically, I think, really exhausted. You've expended so much of your energy, your ki, your whatever you want to chi, whatever you call it. Like, it doesn't matter. Your energy levels you're sleepy, you're tired, and you're just like, I'm done. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care anymore.
Now, what was there a miraculous point when you finally just threw up your hands, and then all of a sudden he's calling you, or on the tele,
I think it kind of happened that I went to London to do a course, and I thought, well, if we see each other, we do. So we caught up, and then I was there, I think 6 weeks or something for that first time. And I just thought, you know what, I'll just go to France and see my family. But we caught up, and we had a good time, and we were just, I thought, I'm not talking about anything. I don't want to bring in, because it's that thing, and women are chronic for this. Oh, can we just talk about this?
Oh,
And let's go
yeah.
over it one more time.
Talk it
That
to
never
death.
helps.
Yeah,
Never helps.
No, not with
So
a guy anyway.
Not with a guy. And you know what? I think men have got that right. I just thought, you know what? It's no point reinfecting yourself with all the problems.
Yes.
You know about the law of attraction. Just go there. Enjoy this person for the afternoon. Go have a cup of coffee. Go have a meal. See a bit of London. So I just took it like that because I had fried every brain cell I had about it. So I just let it go. And then we just started to have a good time, as two people.
I haven't followed you or watched as many of your videos as I'd like to have. Let's put it that way. But in the case with him, how long had you known him prior to you finally this date we're talking this time in London?
About 4 years.
Okay, and you were just friends, or
we were because we're in other in different countries, so you can only spend time talking, connecting.
That's more than a walkabout, I think, right?
Yeah,
when you have to walk that far. That's a little far, yeah.
So you're developing friendship, you're developing talking about interests, you're developing, and you can't. There's no physical contact, so in a way, you have to develop other things. So, which was good, and look, what I learned in that 4 years was probably one of the hardest learning curves in terms of getting, responsible for me and my emotions and then what I put out. So
this is total selfishness on my part, but I'm I think 4.5-ish right now.
Yeah.
Oddly,
well, there you
ironically.
go.
And where I'm just curious because of where mine is relative to yours. Where was the point when within this 4-year mark where you were like, yeah, there's something about this person. Like I just I don't know what it is.
No,
but
it was in the first year.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very early on, and then it was just like everyone I met that was telling me I'm an idiot. They're like, "No, you'll meet this person, and you'll just know." And I'm like, "That's totally what happened, though." Why is that? Why are you discounting what my crazy ass experience is? Because it doesn't meet your mold.
Yep. And sometimes you just get a thing with someone. You're just drawn to them, and. And look, I mean, I think, look at what I've learned by, it was a really hard time. And I know there's a few of my viewers who are not going to like this, but
watch out,
they don't like me saying that it's 4 years, and they've complained to me about, you shouldn't say that because it's actually discouraging for the rest of us.
But I think
the thing is,
closer to reality.
I have to tell the truth. I have to tell the truth of my story.
Oh my God. For me, the thing, I don't know about you. I'm curious what you think on this. This is perfect. If I look back on it, would I do it again is a question I've asked myself many, many, many times. Would I do this again? And my answer every single time has been yes. I've never felt like this before. So in my case, maybe is different in that regard. I don't know, but
that's good to know.
It was easy for me. Oh God. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is, you're not hanging around thinking, I'm waiting for 4 years.
No.
You're doing other things in your life. You still have contact with the person as a friend. So it's not as if it's like this, the desire grows over time.
Absolutely. And for me, it was like, I think when I look at what I've been doing since it's happened, and who I've become, I'll be totally honest. And this is why the comment was funny earlier. When I first met her, I used to smoke cigarettes quite a bit, actually. And about 6 months into it, I had this vision of, she has a son, and I had this vision of seeing him graduating school, and being on oxygen. And literally it was that and a couple other interesting synchronicities that happened that made it possible for me to finally stop. And it's been, I think it was 3 years back in November since I stopped. So again, I look back at the things that I've experienced because of this relationship. I am nothing like I was 4 years ago. I'm a far better man than I was prior. And it makes me think that it's not 4 years. It's
Yeah.
growth. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
ready, man. 4 years ago, I was not ready for where I'm
Yeah.
at right now. And I think when people think that it's discouraging, they need to maybe flip that around a little bit and go,
Mm,
well, maybe I've gotten a lot of things. Like, did you get any positives out of this? Did you
mm.
grow? Did you develop? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, and the thing is, when it's taken you that long, it's not just about manifesting a relationship, it's manifesting an income to be able to travel back and forth. It's actually believing that you can live in two countries. It's about how can I be here for my mum and also
Yep.
enjoy a relationship overseas and still be able to scoot over to France and see my family. Like for me, the relationship was only one component of all these different things. So everything's fallen into place over that time, not
You had,
just that component.
you had a lot of
So
moving parts, basically. A lot of things
there's
had
a
to come
lot of
together for
moving
that to happen.
parts.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So, and that took hours worth of mental focus to deliver that end result. So I savor the fruits of my labor more so than if it had taken a month.
So let me ask you this. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
completely. Let me ask you this. Now, do you think? I think one of the things that tends to speed up these processes is that inward reflection, that looking
Mm,
at what is it that I have to learn from this experience. Like I don't believe anything
yeah.
happens to us by accident, right? If our thoughts are creating our realities, then where
Mm,
we're currently at, these roadblocks that we
mm,
perceive are there for
mm,
us to help
mm.
us maybe figure out what is it that I need, or am I doing wrong, or what do I really
Yeah.
want from a relationship? Am I ready to
Yeah.
give back and be equal on that? Like, I think there's a lot of good
Exactly.
questions to ask.
There is, and Dan, often people say, oh, things happen for a reason. It's not like that. The reason things happen is because of what you think, feel, and believe and project out all the time. It's not
Yeah.
just this random thing that it happens for a reason, like la la land out there. It's not like that. It's all you,
Yeah.
all the
We're
time.
the reason. We are the reason
We
it
are
happens.
we are the reason. That's why.
100%. Yes. Yes.
Photocopy, chung chung.
Cha-chunk, chunk. Yes. I was there with you on that.
Yeah. So there's so many layers to this, and boy, when you think, okay, I just want to manifest a specific person, you don't realize the journey you're going to go on, and it's you drop through so many levels of yourself in the process of learning how to do that. And also, people have this thing: manifesting a specific person is hard. It's actually not. It's not. We think
Right.
that's a
Right.
belief that you got to let
Well,
go of,
if you
is that
believe
it's
it's
hard.
hard, it will be, first off.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and
Right.
that's where most people start, and that's fair
And
enough
that's what I think
because
is the deal is. I'll tell you what, here's the thing. People that aren't looking to manifest a specific someone aren't finding our videos, your videos, our videos, right? People that have found the specific someone, some of them maybe are watching these because it's reminiscent, but for the most part, it's the people that are in that process of doing it. And I think
yeah,
we get a lot of the people that truly are frustrated, and I get it. And that's, I guess, why
mm,
I thought it was a good idea to kind of spend time around that, because you and I
yeah,
spent years working
yeah,
through our frustrations through,
mm,
I think in both our cases, it was something we just felt and we kind of had to do it to a degree, whatever,
yeah,
like it was just leading us onward. And so
yeah,
there are times maybe where that specific someone's not right, but for the times where it is, for the times
mm,
where you're in unison, you've talked, you guys, there's just some thing
mm.
that's keeping it from happening, then these are the ones that I don't know. If in my mind, it was worth it. It was worth it to
Yeah,
find that specific someone that I'm going to spend a lot of years with, and that's cool. That's like
mm,
that's the point, I think, in my mind, and I think I'm finally ready.
yeah,
Frankly, it's been a lot of
yeah,
years. Took me
yeah,
took me time.
yeah. And it makes you unravel every negative belief you have about yourself in terms of worthiness, deserving, that you're not important, that you don't matter, that you're not lovable, that you're not wanted. All those deep, dark beliefs that you hold, they will come to the surface if you have a specific person in mind. You will be looking at every single one of your fears
Oh
and
yeah,
dark stuff around those
absolutely.
particular
Yes,
beliefs.
right.
Mm. So really, is that a bad thing? Because if you deal with those, it then affects your work in a positive way. It affects your money. It affects your you
It
know.
does. It affects your thinking because you start focusing on and this kind of was with me too, is like, I need to make more money, just period, just for the fact that I've been taking care of myself long enough. Now it's time to expand this outward and onward. So yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Even just that was one component amongst, like, stop smoking. I stopped,
yep.
I've just started making a lot of differences, kind of where the YouTube thing really started and
Mm,
spun out for me, was like, okay, this is a way I can take
yep.
advantage of some of my background and what I love doing, and maybe make a difference in the world,
Yeah. Yeah,
And I
for
think that's
sure.
and I think that's part of what I've noticed, at least from a lot of the people that have become teachers or are teachers. And I think that's just anybody that's trying to disseminate information. So I use teachers loosely, but
Mm,
I think when it comes to people that have gone down this path where they try to spend time sort of helping others understand it, I think we end up kind of making a number of extra mistakes, because you really need to understand all the different aspects of it. And
mm.
so I've noticed that at times where it's just like, well, we keep repeating mistakes. I've done it many times. You did it a few times, possibly.
Just a few.
Nah, once or twice. But I think that is actually part of what has made it easier for us to speak on this matter. And I think that's
Yeah,
why you and I find great joy also in sharing this. Like, if
we
we
do, because
change, go ahead.
yeah. Well, you
No.
know how hard it is and how much it
Oh my
kicks
Lord.
people's
Yes,
ass.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's
Yeah.
painful. And I think if both you and I are probably similar in that, if we can help even just one or two or three, whatever people, like, it just feels good to know that, made a difference, because I've been through,
Mm,
you've been through, we've both
mm.
been through a lot. And
We
it
have.
it's nice. It's nice to be able to speak about this, and
Yeah.
it does get easier, people. That's the coolest part. Like, it gets
Mm,
way easier.
it
But you
does.
you do kind of have a darkest night of the soul sort of experience at some point, frankly,
You do. You
whether you've
do.
gone through it already or it's coming.
Mm. Or you're in the middle of it. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because
So
a
I
lot
think,
of people get on YouTube and search, and end up on your channel or my channel while they're in the middle of it.
yep.
That's why they're on YouTube. I mean,
That's my
before
point. That's why
YouTube.
they're searching for
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Isn't
Yeah.
because they've already gotten it or they don't care. It, like, they're in the middle of it, and really, it's
Yeah.
probably the growing pains. It's probably the, why isn't this working? I've tried all the things that are out there. What am I doing wrong? And even just that
Yeah.
whole act of questioning is sort of not
Yeah.
helping. It's like,
No.
it's a fun little spiral that we get ourselves stuck in, and when we can finally
Yeah.
break it out, it's so empowering when you finally start to see it. So I think that's, like, the most important thing for people to realize.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think, you know, I looked back and I didn't have YouTube to get on and get help from. I was just reading books because I didn't know where else to go. At the time, the internet was there, but I probably wasn't using it much.
Right. And you had
So,
your friend that you talked about. So you did
yeah,
have your
I did.
close.
I've got my one friend, and we'd break down the mechanics of things and read Neville and read Abraham Hicks, and then we got attached to YouTube, and then it accelerates your learning. So,
I agree.
yeah, thank God for people that wrote books prior to 1990, because you would have been
Yeah.
screwed without it.
Yeah. And there's so many topics out there too. And some of them have been buried or borrowed. I mean, either way, but it's a lot of fun when you go out there and you kind of try to start researching, and you connect with that. I almost want to say your higher guidance, really. But when it
Yeah.
leads you to that next book and you pick it up and you
Mm.
start reading it and you're like, oh my
Mm.
God, this is exactly what I needed right now. I think,
Yeah.
I think for a lot of our friends that are out there right now that are like, what do I do next? I mean, I know the imagination stuff's supposed to work, but how long? And I think
Mm.
sometimes it's good to open up the question, like, what more is there for me to see?
Exactly.
Let's see what else the universe has to show me.
It would be great at
What
some
would be
point,
great?
and you probably would know how to do this because of your background. If we could do a show like this and then get people to call in.
Absolutely, we could totally pull that off. And I think even
Yeah?
with absolutely. I mean, if we get serious about it, we'd probably get like an 800 number or something to make it easier for people to
Okay.
do. But we could
Yeah, it'd be
patch that through
fun.
a board. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm
Oh.
saying. I could see this getting to a point where we're doing like a weekly show, and I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
fun.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the points that Agnes and I brought about, of course, we are a couple of crazy nuts. There's no question. Crazy organic nuts, I think, is even what we like to call ourselves. I love the nickname she made up for us. I think it's perfect. We're going to be going out with a song called I Love You. Ironically, specific someone. Huh? Where'd you come up with that title? I know, right? It's a little bit crazy. But I Love You by Martina McBride is going to be going out. If you guys want to comment or leave any sorts of, email me or anything along those lines, please feel free to do so at danradiostyle@gmail.com. Or, of course, always leave comments in the show notes down below in the comments section, and could very well spark into future shows. So you never know what's going to happen in this crazy place. I call Dan Radio Style. It's pretty crazy, too. Anyway, here's I Love You.
I'm dreaming.